What if evolution was drunk? What if evolution wasn't this elegant, intelligent process we like to imagine, but a wasted, sleep-deprived artist throwing random creatures at the canvas of life and saying, "Yeah, that'll do." Imagine Mother Nature staggering home after a wild cosmic party, slurring, "Let's give this one 12 nipples and no sense of direction." That's basically Earth. Because when you really look around, it doesn't feel like evolution had a master plan. It feels like it was hammered. Let's start with Exhibit A, the giraffe. A majestic, elegant creature, until you learn that its neck contains exactly the same number of vertebrae as yours. 7. Not 20, not 100. 7. They're just absurdly stretched out like someone pulled its head in Photoshop. But wait, it gets better. To get blood to that freakishly high brain, the giraffe's heart has to be a literal hydraulic pump. If a giraffe tried to do yoga, it would pass out instantly because the pressure difference between its head and feet is so extreme. Evolution looked at that and said, "Yeah, that's fine. Ship it." Next up, the platypus. It looks like a joke drawn by 5 drunk biologists who couldn't agree on one animal. Let's give it a duck bill, a beaver tail, otter feet, and make it lay eggs, even though it's a mammal. Perfect. And if that wasn't enough, let's arm the males with venomous spurs on their ankles, because why not? The platypus is the kind of thing you design in a video game when you've unlocked everything and start combining features just to see what breaks first. But evolution didn't stop there. Oh no, it doubled down. Take the human body, the supposed pinnacle of evolution. Except it's held together with the same duct tape logic as a 90s Windows update. Your spine? Designed for walking on all fours. We decided to stand up, and evolution went, "Hey, close enough." That's why your lower back hurts when you sneeze. Your sinuses? Dead ends that trap infections like a badly designed plumbing system. And don't even start on the birth canal. Whoever thought it was smart to make it curve like a roller coaster clearly never had to use it. Evolution is not a genius. It's a desperate improviser. It doesn't plan, it patches. It's the biological equivalent of copy-pasting old code until it somehow compiles. And every once in a while, it creates something so bizarre that even it probably wakes up the next morning thinking, "What did I do last night?" Let's talk about the sloth, a creature so slow that algae literally grows on it. Its entire survival strategy is, "Don't move, and maybe they won't notice." That's not strategy. That's depression. And yet, somehow, it works. Because evolution doesn't care about speed, strength, or intelligence. It cares about survival, even if you do it badly. Speaking of bad survival strategies, penguins. Imagine birds that lost their ability to fly and decided, "Fine, we'll swim." Except they live in sub-zero conditions, waddle like they're permanently hungover, and still manage to find mates by screaming at each other on ice. That's evolution drunk dialing its ex at 3 a.m. saying, "You up? I made a bird that can't fly but wears a tuxedo. Do you love me now?" But the biggest drunk text of all? The human appendix. It's like a software feature that's been deprecated for millions of years, but still ships with every new model. You don't need it, it can kill you if it bursts, and yet evolution refuses to delete it. If that's not drunken stubbornness, what is? Now, imagine evolution itself as a cosmic bartender. Every species is a new cocktail. Some are masterpieces, the eagle, the wolf, the octopus. Others are the biological equivalent of mixing gin, milk, and hot sauce and calling it innovation. The kangaroo, for instance, a creature that hops everywhere because walking forward efficiently was apparently too mainstream. It can't move its legs independently, so if you tie its tail, it literally can't walk. And for reproduction, the females have 3 vaginas. 3. You'd think that's overkill, but evolution was clearly on a roll that night. Then there's the ostrich, flightless bird. Big brain? Absolutely not. Its defense mechanism is to shove its head into the sand when scared. That's like deleting your browser history while the cops are at the door. And yet, these creatures survived, somehow, which means that while evolution may act drunk, it's still undefeated. Let's pour another round and talk about octopuses. Nature's fever dream. 3 hearts, blue blood, and brains in their arms. Each arm can act semi-independently, like it's running its own side quest. And when threatened, it just disappears in a puff of ink, like a ninja with trust issues. That's not evolution. That's a cephalopod fever hallucination. Now, you might be thinking, surely humans are different. Number. We're evolution's biggest inside joke. We choke on our own food because we share a pipe for eating and breathing. We get goosebumps, a leftover reflex from when we had fur. We cry emotional tears, something no other animal does, possibly because even evolution felt guilty about how it designed us. Our eyes? They're wired backward, literally. The photoreceptor cells face away from the light, so our brains have to flip the image. If evolution were an engineer, it would have been fired centuries ago. And yet, here we are, talking about it, making videos, laughing at the absurdity of our own anatomy. Maybe that's the real trick. Evolution made something so self-aware it can roast its own creator. But let's zoom out for a second. Imagine if evolution really was drunk, like cosmically drunk. Picture the primordial soup as a bar counter in some chaotic universe. Lightning flashes, chemicals bubble, and somewhere the first cell stumbles into existence, slurring, "Oops!" Then it divides, not because it knows what it's doing, but because it's trying to remember what just happened. Fast forward a few billion years. That same drunk process gives us dinosaurs, jellyfish, humans, and deep-sea anglerfish with glowing bait faces. It's like a long-running improv show where the performers keep forgetting their lines, but somehow the story keeps going. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Because evolution isn't a straight line toward perfection. It's a messy, chaotic, never-ending party where mistakes become masterpieces. The hammerhead shark, eyes on the sides of a mallet. Ridiculous? Yes, but it gives them a panoramic view. The blobfish melts into a gelatinous puddle on land, but deep underwater, it's perfectly adapted. The narwhal, a whale with a unicorn horn. Why? Because evolution was in a whimsical mood. It's random, absurd, and strangely poetic. You see, humans have this obsession with meaning. We want evolution to be purposeful, intelligent, clean, but it's not. It's dirty, wasteful, and inefficient. It's billions of years of trial and error, and mostly error. And yet, somehow, it works. Maybe that's why we relate to it. Because deep down, we're all improvising too. You, me, everything. We're all the results of countless tiny accidents that somehow lined up just right. So when you look at your weird body in the mirror and think, what was evolution smoking? Remember, it was drunk, not high. But it wasn't drunk on alcohol. It was drunk on possibility. Because chaos is creative. Mistakes are where novelty hides. Every failed mutation was a gamble, and every success was a happy accident. The peacock's feathers, gorgeous but impractical. The male anglerfish, so desperate it fuses into the female's body. The axolotl refuses to grow up, stays a baby forever, and regenerates limbs just to show off. It's as if evolution said, who cares if it makes sense? Let's make it weird. And in that weirdness, life flourished. Maybe evolution, being drunk, is the reason life is beautiful at all. Because perfection is boring. Chaos, on the other hand, creates wonder. Think of the butterfly. It dissolves into soup inside its cocoon before becoming something new. That's not intelligent design. That's biological madness paying off. Or think of whales, land mammals that got tired of land and said, "Back to the ocean, boys." That's evolution doing the walk of shame. And somehow, it still worked. So maybe the story of life isn't about a sober, precise process carving out perfection. Maybe it's about a universe that stumbled, fumbled, and laughed its way into brilliance. If evolution were a person, it wouldn't be a cold scientist in a lab coat. It'd be the chaotic friend who shows up to the party uninvited, spills a drink on the carpet, and then accidentally invents jazz. It doesn't follow rules. It breaks them. It experiments. It fails. It tries again. That's not stupidity. That's creativity. So yes, evolution might be drunk, but maybe that's exactly why we exist. Because in a universe obsessed with order, it took a little cosmic chaos to make something as wild, fragile, and unpredictable as life. And the next time you see a platypus, a giraffe, or your own reflection, remember, you're not the product of a perfect plan. You're the result of the greatest drunk experiment in the cosmos. And somehow, it worked.